give a greeting to your fans and the viewers out there.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are watching from. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best. I hope by the end of the show somebody would have learned something or picked something up to make their life better. Yes.
So true, because it is always a life-changing situation when such topics come on board.
Yes.
And Qute, Kaye, let's kickstart off from there. How has the life been for you in the music? As if you're to look back in the last 10 years.
10 years. Ultimately, it's been beautiful. I mean, look at me now. Yeah.
There's some great change in everything.
Yes.
Okay. And now, if you're to where do you think the main effort has come from?
The effort of the music to me, or my effort to the music.
Both.
Both.
It can be both ways. Because you're a stakeholder. When we're talking to stakeholders in the music, we look for the artists, the performers, and those in the production.
On my part, I will certainly proudly say I've done good music. I've made sure every song I do is a very good song.
Classic music, by the way.
Yes. Such that when someone listens to that song, they'll say, this is good music. So,
and we do even throw back huge memories of those songs as well.
The good songs. So my effort, I've tried to do the best music, because I mean, how can I do more?
Okay.
I've done the good music, and then the music itself back. Excuse me. The music has created me. Yeah, we work side by side.
It is the music that has made Qute Kaye.
As well, yes.
Okay.
I did the music, I created it, I made it, I pushed it to a certain extent, and then the music started making me itself as well.
Okay.
It brought money to me, it brought friends to me, it brought a wife, I got kids,
Life change.
Yes.
A life changer.
I grew up in the music. That's how I'm here. It transformed me. It brought me up.
Okay.
Yes.
Away from that, let's try to contrast between our music scene now.
Yes.
Because I've always had a chance of interacting with some of those people, and like, if you look at this, the music industry back in the day,
yes,
and that from now, it is quite different from the genres and situation. But when you look at the quality, there is one that is has more quality than the one we're currently having, because now songs of these days don't stay for quite some time.
Yes.
But let's talk about the money aspect of it.
Yes.
If you look at the music industry today and that of, let's say, 10 years back, which was making more money?
I think the music right now does make more money.
It is more commercial.
Yes.
Okay.
It does. It's actually almost only commercial. Almost. So it makes more money. Because there is very many media platforms now than then.
Yes.
Because 10 years ago, it was just the TV and the radio station, especially in Uganda. And the radio stations were very few as well. The TV stations were few, just
very
like
few,
3
yes.
or 4. It was a monopoly. But right now, as we speak, there is over 30, I don't know, so many TV stations, so many radio stations, and then there is these social media platforms. There is TikTok, there is Instagram, there is YouTube, there is Amazon, to mention but a few. So you find that you can sell all over those platforms, You can even do an online concert.
And it still generates the income. Yes, so
yes.
true.
So I think right now the industry is more monetized, which is a good thing. I think it's a good thing to the artist. Of course, at some point, it's not so good. But I remember when primary, I think in secondary too, we used to have debates.
I did actually engage in most of them as well. So
I loved them, Sometimes you would choose something that you actually know is not true, but I would choose it because I see the other guys that are good at, debating are on the other side. So I say, if I'm that side, it's going to bore me.
You want to oppose. It is always good when you're on the attacking side. So true.
Yes. So that's what birth is development. That's how development is born.
So true.
That's how improvement is born through. So right now, the social media, it brings the money. It's all right. But then of course, somehow, the gist of the music is dying. That's what you said about it. That the good music is not really there.
Someone does a song maybe today, and it gets off the mark maybe before even the year ends, and you're not listening to it anymore.
And you don't even want to listen to it anymore. At least there is not hearing it on radio.
But you don't, yes.
But you would love to listen to it. You can go to YouTube and you say this song, and you play it in your car. But you don't want to listen to it anymore.
Why do you think is the problem?
Because the gist is dead. The people are not minding the music they're doing anymore. They don't care what
they just want the money already.
The money with it. And now there is a very, very, very what should I call it? There is a very bad, I don't know, I think I should say trend. When I get a better word, I will use it. But now I could say trend, whereby people believe that they know now they have believed that negativity
is the best way to sell.
Sells more than positivity. Whereby somebody will leak their own nude pictures.
Just to become famous.
To have numbers.
And remain relevant.
So whereby somebody will sing an obscene song intentionally
to just target some audience,
because he knows if I'm obscene, everybody is going to watch it immediately. And I ask the society, what's wrong with you? Why do you support those things? Because you are encouraging those things to happen. So the gist is dying because nobody is loving the music anymore. I think for me, in my case, when I sing a song, when I used to sing a song, when I still sing a song, I love it. I want to sing. I love to sing.
It comes from the soul,
from inside of me. I love it. I want it. And there are some things I cannot sing, not because I don't know them, but because I ask myself, what message am I passing across?
Or is it the challenge that we have here? Because if you look at the message that is being passed out in the songs, you totally lose focus in these songs, because you focus and listen to the lyrics and there is no direction whatsoever.
And then you dance to the beat. Anyway.
You just dance to the beat. And when you add the lyrics all together, they're not catching up. Or the words are not flowing in any direction. And
there is no statement. The song doesn't make any statement. Well, so that's what's dying. The sad part is it's dying. That is dying very fast. Because these young kids, I think, right now, they probably are not even having very good people to look up to, role models anymore, because that's what's going on. Because by the way, it's not only happening in Uganda, I think, even if you look on the international market.
The song, the type of the lyrics are so obscene, by the way, if I've noticed. And if I'm some hip hop fanatic, but back in the day, if you listen to the likes of Tupac when they're flowing, there was a lot of content from the racism part of it. It tells you about making the money, and you understand that what he's teaching is really important through the vibe.
Did you hear what you said? That's the point. You realize that what he's teaching, imagine he lives to just sing, but he is teaching. He's telling you something. And I think...
And it's relevant to society.
And I think that's what music was from the very beginning. It was a mode of communication.
And teaching people.
To communicate. People, in our culture, African culture, old people used to sing folk songs to teach their young about their culture, about what it used to be, about how a woman should take herself, about how a man should stand, about. The old people would sing those songs. You know?
And trying to put them through their adolescence and what to prepare them for.
While the kid is dancing to that beat, he is learning. Oh, abakazi balima, wate balima bati, you know. So, but now it's a tool for making money.
And anyone comes out there because they know the streams on YouTube are going to generate some income.
They hit it. They just do it. They send it out there. So you find that now. Just imagine the children who are growing from this generation. What's with them? What's going to happen?
Because that is where you would see the mindset. Most of them, even now, the songs they dance to, you would see a child of 5 years dancing to a song that has been played in some bar, and you're like, okay.
Can I tell you something so sad? I even have it. I think it was maybe 1.5 or 2 year old girl, little girl. And this girl, it's on TikTok. The mother comes to the room and a song was playing. And the mother starts to dance. And the kid also starts dancing. And then she cannot yet stand very well. And then she tripped, she almost fell. And you know what she did? She just held down and started twerking.
Like as if she's a pro.
2 years. So what do you think that kid is thinking? Well, so the gist people are not doing this for the love anymore.
Okay.
They are not trying to pass any message to the people out there. They're just trying to make money. That's as good as it gets to them. They're just abusing it. It's like addiction. They're abusing the music.
Okay. And away from the music, in the last 10 years, when you're not into the music so much, and we were still wondering where is Qute Kaye of late.
Yeah.
And I think by that time now you were settling into family. Minister time.
Actually, within the 10 years, I think the biggest thing that I can mention that I've been through is addiction.
Because that's where I want us to go to.
Okay.
If you look at drug addiction,
yes,
for you were quite really lucky that you even survived. You're out there, you're helping people.
Yes.
But if you look at our artists, they are really struggling with the issue. First, take us through that journey of drug addiction.
Well, where do I even begin? Where do I begin? You know, it's
a big one. Let's try to just sum it up. Let's try to put it in a summary format.
Yes.
Let's say you wake up one day and you're a musician because
yes,
you're a musician. Because yes, if you're to walk around, people will definitely notice now that is Kaye.
Yes.
Now you wake up one day in the day, and we all have this curiosity one time, and you're like, let me try out alcohol.
Yes.
Now where does the drug come from? And then you're like, let me try out this type of drug.
Actually, it was very subliminal. I was working with some people, and then they used to use those drugs.
Okay.
They used to use heroin and crack cocaine. So one time, we were going for a show somewhere, and then they say, let's first drop us here, we smoke some. You know, the thing about addiction is once you're addicted, that's the word, addiction. Once you're addicted, you can't live without. You need it to function now. You're a slave to it. So they had to use before we go. Before they never used, never used to know about it because I was not with them all the time. Would be there when we're working, they go, I go. But this time after the band performances, and I have to do individual performances, so they stay around to help me as well. Do this, do that. So drop us there, we go over, and they smoke. The second day, I come over. They will come over, they go in smoking, they take long. I go in, guys, what's going on? We're getting late. I find them smoking. Why don't you try a little bit as well? This is good. This is even better than drinking beer. I mean, this you do not know. And can you imagine, sadly, I never even bothered to ask, what is that called?
What is that? You were like, okay.
Called that?
You're like, let's take this on.
I said, well, no problem. I did a little bit, and then we left.
Since they were your friends anyway. And you're like, okay, they're using it. So
I didn't ask. And then a second time, when you use class A drugs 3 times, you're hooked.
You become addicted.
You're into addiction, yes. 3 times.
The mindset is already now.
Done. Actually, it's not the mindset. It introduces a poison in your body.
Which seeks for it all the time.
Exactly. You need it now. If you don't use it, if you don't have it, in my case, in the morning of the 3rd day, I had a running nose. It was running so profusely. I had tears. My eyes were crying very much. I had a headache. My head was so huge on my shoulders. I had fever. I was shaking. I was so cold, but I was sweating profusely. My stomach, I had a very, very bad stomach. I was diarrheating. I was so hungry, but I had no appetite. All my joints were dead. I couldn't even crawl out of bed.
So that was the state now.
I say, guys, I'm dying. Something is not right. No, don't worry. You just need to smoke a little more. You'll be all right. Do you remember the other thing I was smoking? You just need a pack. Are you serious? I think I need a doctor. No, you don't. Just that. Let's try it. We get to the car, we drive over to the dealers, and then they get a pack. Okay. They put it on a file. I smoke once, twice, thrice.
You're back at it.
I'm no more. No more tears. I want to eat now. I'm fine. No headache, no sweating, no nothing. Actually, I cried. I said, oh, I'm dead.
You're doomed
but
now.
Then I didn't even know about the word addiction.
But you feel like it is now.
Something is not right. I knew something was not right.
There was a new you inborn.
Yes. But then, actually, I didn't even know about rehabilitation centers. I didn't think they existed. I was hearing them in movies or seeing them in movies. I thought these things don't exist here in my country. Drugs, those are for drug dealers, Mexican cartels,
No, if you're becoming, so you're just not looking at it in a way because we've been seeing all these movies of.
I thought it was that way. It's in Hollywood, actually. I didn't know these drugs are here. So I had no idea, and now I couldn't go to anybody tell them I'm hooked onto something, I need help, because they would tell on me.
That you're
and then there we are all over the news. So I had to keep quiet, and that's how it grew.
Because you're already a public figure now.
So I stayed with the people who were using, because they're the only ones who knew about it.
Had kept it to themselves. For them, they know it's their secret thing.
They just knew we have a new member now, who can actually even buy for us sometimes. Now,
when he has the money. In fact,
that's how mean they are. They'll try to get you addicted so you can
buy for them. Sustain their appetite.
Yes. So after those 3 times, you get hooked. So I got hooked. The rest is history.
Because, one of the side effects I've actually realized with drugs is people who are drug addicts, I see people becoming really slim. There is quite a big change now.
Because
by the time you started them, you became slim.
Of course.
Now you're...
what these drugs do to you, they are very jealous. They take away everything else from you. They take your appetite.
So you're not eating?
No, you don't want to eat anything. You need to smoke.
If you're to eat anything, like what did you eat normally? Because I hear you normally eat some chili things, some...
I don't know about that, but you would eat the most weird things, maybe a chapat. Something that you can finish quickly so that you can think about smoking.
You just eat and you're done.
Yes. And that can be after 2 days or 3 days. That's when you say, well, I could eat a chapat.
Good.
So you stop eating. You give up on yourself. You stop trying to look good, to feel good. What happens is, when I was in rehab, of course, I had to read about it. And by the way, it's a very serious disease. I think it's the worst disease ever. Because if you don't learn about it, then you can't fight it. They say you cannot fight what you don't know.
It's so true.
So what it does, it goes to that part of your brain, the limbic, where we make decisions. Where you decide that I'm a man, I should be smart, I should brush in the morning, my baby needs to dress up, they need to go to school, I have a wife, I love this woman, they need a shelter, I need to have money at the end of the month to pay for this, to clear this, to do that. Your responsibilities as a human being.
Or as a man, even
as a man or a woman.
You're a breadwinner now.
To play your role. It goes to that, it attacks that part of your brain, the limbic.
And it disorganizes everything.
No, it kills it.
Then the decision making changes.
Nothing now. The drug takes over. It starts to decide. And it has one decision. Smoke some more. Smoke some more.
But how, I still want to know, how do you get these drugs now? If you're to take us through, are they that expensive?
Yeah, they are. They are. Some of them go up to, say, 200,000.
Just a single shot?
A stone, yes. A stone or a little powder. But then, they can cut it. They can cut it. When they cut it, it increases in volume. They cut it with something else.
Okay.
And sadly enough, somebody told me they actually cut heroin with rat poison.
So which means add more poison onto it.
Which means the more you take it, because if rat poison can kill rats, imagine what it does to your inside.
Jesus. Because I'm trying to see a breadwinner, you would wake up with the 200,000 and you're like, this week my wife, my children have to do this. Now you get the 200 a day and you go and buy one stone.
Which is not going to sustain you the whole day, because in a day you might need 3 stones. Or 4.
From 5. So all the money now starts going there. And then poverty starts coming to hit back.
Of course. Of course. Because life, you're not balancing your life anymore.
What you get is you're just spending it uselessly.
Because you lose sense of direction, you lose sense of purpose, you lose sense of, actually you give up on yourself, believe me. Yes, you give up on yourself. So you can imagine if you give up on yourself, what's next?
You feel like dying sometimes.
You don't
feel
care.
Like no one even.
You don't care. You don't care if you die or if you live. It doesn't matter.
You're in a state of depression, or
who
you're
cares?
in a no man's land.
Yes, who cares? What happens, happens. Because actually people don't know this, but people who are addicted, they're not having fun. Leave alone that face that they put on just to cover it. I'm telling you. They live the most miserable life. They're not happy. They are scared every single hour of the day.
They are living in worry.
Worry, pain, regret, remorse.
I've seen some stories coming up that musicians who normally take stage, when they are going to face the crowds, they also take some drugs to just have this confidence. Doesn't this also affect them?
Of course, you know, that's the thing about drugs. Drug abuse is like a pregnancy. It grows on you until you can't hide it.
And it starts showing it.
Everybody will know, this one is pregnant. Can't you see her tummy?
Yeah. For a few months, it comes out. Regardless of how you've been hiding it.
It must come out. Somebody will know you are pregnant once you are pregnant. So that's the drug. So anybody who is using them, no matter how much they try to hide it, no matter how much money they have, because if someone is addicted and you give them dollars, $100 bills that fill this room,
they will still have to purchase.
They'll burn through it and you will find them on the street. I think mostly in 2 months, I think. At most. Others, it can even be 2 weeks.
When it is rolled out.
It's done. Unless if you treat the disease. So people miss the point that this is a disease.
Not just an addiction.
No. Actually, you know, that's the thing. The word addiction, that's how it comes about. That's the name of the disease. Like I say, malaria.
So the addiction is the name
of that disease.
So addiction itself now is a disease.
Yes. But people think addiction is a word describing someone or something.
By the way, when you say it is a disease, it is really a disease. Because if you ever met someone who can't live without alcohol also,
you don't know.
He can even fail to eat until he has a beer or a shot.
He will fail to eat. He will fail to eat even for 4 days if the beer doesn't show up or whatever they use. A doctor will not be able to operate on a patient until he drinks. He says, "Mumpeku kawala jinga kankana bwati."
Afuneku.
Bwamala okanywa bwati. N'akwata akambe n'akusala n'akugyamu ekizimba n'akusiba n'ogenda n'owona. Kakati obwo obulwadde babuyita addiction. Oyo omusawo naye aba mulwadde.
Abamu kasigala bateekamuko kasigala nga mbuwaayi okukakkana.
Nina okunywamu. Kitegeeza obulwadde obwo bwamukutte. Obulwadde bwe bayita addiction bwamukutte.
Ate kirina omuntu ayera ebbanga eddene obuvaako.
Okubujjanja. So buvaako. Ate obulwadde buvaako.
Obujjanjaba. Bayinza okudda nga tutegedde.
Olina obujjanjaba. Kati ate the other funny bit about addiction is it's a disease that stays with you till the day you die. It never heals completely.
It is always you living in the preventive measure.
You're supposed to maintain sobriety.
Just like when they tell us we have COVID.
Yes.
Try as much as you can to live with it.
Put on that mask. Sanitize.
Because one day it may catch you. And
it can catch you. Just
if you don't fight it, you're
dead. So once you're addicted, every single day you put steps, you put measures to protect yourself from that disease. Like when you get sick with malaria and the doctor says, well, you had malaria, now you are healed. I'm going to discharge you. But buy an insecticide-treated mosquito net. Sleep in it every night. Don't drink unboiled water anymore.
Move with those ones.
If you do those two things, you're free from malaria. Fight other diseases maybe. So that disease too, it has treatment. It can heal. Once you know it and accept it for what it is as well. You say, well, I was the unlucky one this time I got the disease. Like people get AIDS every day. Actually, I don't know if you remember way back, you probably might be a little younger, but way back when AIDS had just come, it was
I heard it was another pandemic.
Oh my God, everybody was scared. They know you're sick, you have AIDS, nobody wants to be near you anymore. They give you a separate plate,
and
a separate cup.
Is that you would even look like you have it.
You look it. Of course. You look it, everybody would know that one has AIDS. Your hair becomes ramshackled. And people were so afraid of it. Actually, what would kill most people with AIDS was the fear
that
of what everybody is going to think, do, how, the rejection, and then you die lonely. But once people started getting taught about AIDS and they understood it, now someone with AIDS can outlive a person without AIDS.
So true.
Looking so good.
And they know how to look good on themselves.
Take care of themselves. They accept the fact that I've got this. Actually, when you're in recovery, they say that acceptance is the first step to recovery.
Get to know that you have this.
Accept.
Now you're going to live with it.
Now,
but how are you going to do it?
How do I do it? I love my life. How am I going to do it? And then you start to figure that out, and you're good to go. So if people can understand addiction for what it is, a disease, it's not a word. It's a name for a disease.
The word addiction
is a name for that disease. And that disease has symptoms. When someone is addicted, you can see it. If it's your child at home, if you see your child is becoming restless, he cannot really sit down in one place. He's now starting to look different. He's not taking care of himself. He's starting to become a little bit rude. You know, it has symptoms, you can tell. Besides losing the weight and you know, the other ones that are physical, there are all those the others that are mental and so on and so forth. So it's a disease. If people can accept it for what it is, society, and they stop stigmatizing those people and stereotyping them, and they accept the fact that this is another disease. Because I would expect people to say, if I go to my parent and I say, Dad, yes baby, I went to the doctor today and they checked me, I have AIDS. I'd expect the father to say, how can you have sex?
Or they can even slap you very fast.
How can you? But they don't. They say, what? Oh, I'm
He's
so
also
sorry.
shocked. He feels
so
heartbroken and he wants to
comfort you. Yes, they cry a little bit and say, but don't worry. People live with AIDS.
This is what we're going to do.
You will be okay. Let me call a friend of mine, he's a doctor. That they require a lot of money. Don't worry, we're going to look the money. They call a family meeting. My daughter, she's sick. We need to do something. She will be okay. AIDS, oh my God, sorry. Oh, we are so sorry. They start to collect the money. They fight together. They do something about it. And that person gets to live another 60 damn years.
Okay. And Qute, speaking of addiction, it brings us to your charity foundation.
Another chance.
I want us to head to that as we are trying to beat up time.
Yes.
Another chance.
Yes.
Where does the idea come from? How do you bring it up?
When I was in recovery, in rehab, recovering from my addiction, I started reading a few things, mostly the Bible, and then this, that. So somewhere along the way, I read somebody said it was Dr. Robert Schuller. He says a setback is a setup for a comeback. I said, wow, is it? So it is.
And you felt it.
Yes, it was a metanua. That was a change. So I decided, I said, well, since God gave me a chance at life again, myself, then I need to spread this other chance. Maybe that's the reason why I had to go through what I went through.
For you to actually get...
Yes. Because there is so many people that I met that were going through the same thing. I saw many people who were dying of addiction. So many kids who were rejected by their families, they don't know what to do. Others take their own lives. So I said, well, the trick is I got to do something about it, and then that's the birth of Another Chance Foundation. So what we've been doing, what we are doing, just that the schools are not yet open, we are sensitizing the public. Because myself, how I got addicted was because I didn't know about these drugs. Because if I knew about these drugs and what they're going to do to me after 3 days, after 2 smokes, why would I do that? I was fine.
You're okay with the life?
I was fine, yeah. I wouldn't have tried to bring Satan into my life. But because I didn't know. So we are hoping as Another Chance that while we go to schools and talk to these children and we let them know about the drugs and their existence and their repercussions, what they do to you as a person. They take away your love, they take away your loved ones, they want to kill you simply. So we tell them so that they can make an informed choice because they don't know. And then we go to rehab centers, some places where we motivate the people who are sick. We tell them you made the right choice. You have another chance
to leave.
Right now, it's all gone, because when you're in rehab, they detox your body, and then everything that was in your blood is gone. You're fresh, newborn. So you have a chance now. Just decide, what are you going to do with it?
Are you messing it up again?
You might die there, believe me, because you don't get another chance all the time. It's already another chance. You don't
just like
a
second chance. Just like God giving you a second chance.
Yes.
The third chance will not come.
Yes. And now we're planning to go to communities, since the schools are still closed, doing the same thing. Letting the people know about the existence of these drugs, and then letting them know about their effects on you as an individual, on your family, on your society, on your country, on the globe eventually, ultimately. And then we are letting the parents know that this is a disease. If your son gets it,
treat it.
Treat it, that's all. Treat the disease, it will be okay. You don't have to look away. You don't have to be ashamed of them. Why aren't you ashamed of someone who has cancer?
And then you are
Why aren't
ashamed
you ashamed of someone who has
a
fever?
drug addict.
Yes. Why aren't you ashamed of someone with AIDS? What's wrong with you? This is another sick person. There is nothing to be ashamed about. Take them to a hospital, let them get treatment, give them the support they need to heal. Because a drug addict can heal and be a very, very constructive member of society, of course. So that's what we are trying to do for now. But of course, we stand in for other less privileged people as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Qute, now let's speak of the music industry in Uganda now. Preferably, most of the Ugandans are trying hard to survive, most of the musicians.
Yes.
But the question is, where are they getting the money now? Oh, let's even start from you now. You're doing now music. Back in the day, it was mainly music.
Yeah.
Now I think music is now a side hustle. If I'm putting that, you're having different names.
Imagine how my music can become the side hustle. Unbelievable. How life changes.
How life changes. But away from it becoming a side hustle, where is the money coming from now that we all know? If you're to put a statement, if you're to put a concert now on the music, it does speak for itself.
Yeah.
That is speaking for itself. But now we're looking at a situation where every musician now is set to look for a side hustle until the sector is reopened.
Yes.
But now where does the money come from?
I've learned that life is a business, by the way.
How is that statement?
Life is your individual business.
Your life, just like when they say, Obulamo Bugaga, it's worth.
Once you're alive, you're supposed to make sure that you sustain this life somehow. You don't have to just sing. No. If necessary, go and dig. Because actually me, I farm. But of course I don't go myself.
You're into agriculture also.
I am, of course. Yes, and I rear animals too. But I don't go there and do it myself. I pay people and they do that. Some people who can do that. And then I just direct them.
You go through the supervision?
Yes. And then I know where I'm going to sell the food. Before it used to be the schools, whereby you book a few friends. And then when your potatoes are ready, you just supply to them.
You get the trucks done and you pack.
Yes. Or the cassava. Or the beans, sometimes they love to eat some fresh beans. So once they are ready, they tell you, please, you let us know. They come and take them. Or watermelons, which they buy from the garden. You know, it's all about find out. Find out what more you can do.
Get to know the information.
Yes, they say that life is transitional. It's not terminal. In other words, every end is a beginning.
So when you feel like you're coming to an end, you can even start from there.
Not that you can.
You start.
You should.
It is a must.
You better start from where you've ended.
Okay.
So yes, I think that's what we need to do, all of us, musicians. Do some more. Add some more value to
your career.
To who you are. Add more value to who you are in any way. And I believe my addiction added that value to me as well. Of course.
It added something onto you.
It did add something onto me, of course. It did. So, they should do something more. They should do something more. And the most important thing, you know, the Bible says that as a man thinks, you don't know. How could you not?
If someone says a man thinks, he has to act. Maybe. Because
has to act. As a man thinks, so he is.
When you think, that means that is who you are.
Simply. So if they remove the music and you start to feel sorry for yourself, I'm done.
I'm done.
What
There's
am I
no way
going
I'm going
to
to
do?
earn.
You're done.
Because the other negativity is already in your soul, telling you there is no way you're going.
Because no other man has power over you. God gave us that power in your head.
If you have not enjoyed this conversation, I don't know which conversation you will ever enjoy on a TV show. I've been having Qute Kaye, but as we're winding up with the show, I think you should give us like 2 capellas of, you remember, you know all those songs that bring back memories. One of the reasons that's why I still love our old time music is we grew up to this music and you could dedicate it to someone's daughter and they know that, yes, you're feeling it. Just give us a capella and your last assessment as we're winding up with the show.
Kubakaza banji munsi nolonda muwange gwomuntu gwenesiga nenkulaga buli kyange nochimanya nti mukyala wange gwe mutima gwange notonsasira kati fenno tutabudde nze njimaze emikwano ginkese yegwe gwe ndowooza bwe neebaka gwe gwe ndoota emisana bwe ntambula mu katale nze nkwekanga tudda gye twasookera mu mukwano gwa ddala nze ndaba gye twolekedde tugenda kwawukana. If you don't tell me to stop, I'll keep singing.
No, I was still feeling it. Because before the show, I was telling someone that if I remember this song, when you feel like the relationship is, then you're like, Thank you very much for making it here.
Thank you.
We've had Qute Kaye. It has been a very interesting conversation, guys. As we're heading into the weekend, I hope you pick something. And if you're a kid out there, you're a youth, and you're into this drug addiction, it's high time you started fighting it.
And something else, something that I would love to tell, especially the youth out there, is God got all the power that you need to be whatever you need to be and put it in your head. And he says in the Bible that as a man thinketh, so he is. In other words, stop thinking about things that you don't like. Think about who you want to be, what you want to become, and then you are it.
Just think about it. It's Smart Means Business. We've been driving your business. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. Till then,